What's good, YouTube? Legion did bring over a few from the people. Fuck. So this is kind of an structure to go through. You don't have to follow it exactly, but it's an. What's good, YouTube? This video is dedicated to the newcomers when it comes to PvP. This expansion, Legion, brought over a lot of players that purely only did PvE stuff into the PvP realm. They kind of, you know, gave advantages to it. There's a quest in Battlegrounds that you can grab, and it gives you some good rewards for just winning 10 skirms or any arena, for example. So this is dedicated to those people. And like when it comes to PvE, there is a kind of a system in which you can follow in order to improve. For instance, you don't just jump in and join a mythic raid when it comes to PvE, right? But I think it gets a bit blurred when it comes to the PvP side of things, and what a lot of people do is fall into the trap of jumping straight into a 3v3 arena, you know, and when your first few games you might get placed 1600 MR, sometimes a little bit higher, a bit lower, but it doesn't really know where to place you yet, and they can get absolutely romped. They go, this game is shit, they don't play PvP again, and it's all downhill from there, right? So this is going to be an introductory little guide. You don't have to follow it exactly to the T, but it will help you, you know, if you kind of follow some sort of a system. So what do we do exactly? Well, I suggest the first thing you do when it comes to WoW, whether you've been playing for a while or not at all, is to queue for Battlegrounds. Hit this tab, go into Battlegrounds, just random queue, make sure you select the right one, of course, and learn from there. So you've got an objective to do, it's cool, you can run around, get in group fights. You don't have to have a lot of pressure put onto you, you know what I mean? Like if you're just getting romped end for end, your team members can sometimes pick up the pace for you. So Battlegrounds is cool. It's kind of the introductory way to get into PvP. The first kind of thing I suggest you try out. From there, you can go and queue into Skirmishes. This is no rating allocated, just jump in, whatever it is, you can run whatever comp, it doesn't matter. Queue up with a friend, and you know, you get some artifact power for it. And that's about it. There's no problem with losing, other than your pride getting destroyed and things like that. And it's normally easier to win because it's more Mongo. No one has a well, I don't know anyone that takes skirmishes seriously, but no one has a strategy that, you know, that if anyone's going to do arena properly, they're going to queue for the rated section. But we're just going to go from BGs into skirms, and you can also play with a friend here, and that's an awesome way to go. And you don't have to stop doing Battlegrounds. You always just progress to the next one, and you can continue to do better and better in the previous things of this ladder, I guess. So BGs into skirms. And then when you're finally getting comfortable, the idea with skirms is to see particularly what classes can do. So you jump into arena, you see double demon hunter, they jump on you, bang, you're dead. And you're like, holy shit. And you saw them go big 4 metamorphosis, which you're probably unaware of at this stage. And you soon get the idea that a demon hunter, when it goes in a big demon form, is some scary shit, okay? And the idea with hunters, you can see that they can land CC and stuff, and you get to really pinpoint what each class can do. That's the idea of jumping into skirms here. When you're slightly getting an idea of that, then you can move into the 2v2 bracket and dueling. Now put these two on the same line because they go hand in hand. I feel like when you get to the stage of doing rated 2v2, even though rating itself isn't crazy, like, you know, just play some games, when you jump into rated 2v2, people take it a little bit more seriously, and you can learn a bit more about particular classes, because now they're going to have an idea of what to do. They're going to burst when you're in CC, they're going to use defensive when you're bursting. It's not just Mongo, right? Pairing that with dueling, this line right here is where I feel like you'll learn the most about the game, other than 3v3 when you start doing many games in that. But this section here, dueling people just end for end, learning how to beat them. Maybe they destroy you every time, maybe they run away from you, you got to learn how to stay on them. Maybe they just win long game. Like you understand a class and see if they're squishy, high burst, tanky, sustain damage. You know, you get the idea whether they can leap around, whether they're slow, whether their, you know, CC is incredible, and that is where it shines. So, queue with a friend here as well, hit some 2v2 up. When they're not online, do some dueling at the front of Orgrimmar or Stormwind is normally the best place. And from here you learn a lot. Now, you can do this end for ages. Dueling never really gets boring, because you can always, you know, come back with better strategies, a bit better gear, different people all the time of different levels of skill and things like that. Is awesome. So that's probably my favorite tier right there, is the dueling paired with doing 2v2 when you can. And that's awesome. And then we move on to the biggest, baddest, the 3v3 system. Okay, I'll put RBGs on this list as well, but underneath 3v3, I was going to put it on the same tier, but I feel like the next step is to try out some 3v3. The pinnacle of PvP when it comes to WoW, because it's balanced mostly around this. There's so much going on, so many ways to outplay each other, with the healer trying to keep you up, so you're trying to CC the healer, 2 DPS trying to kill you, also do the same to you CC the healer, so then you can CC one of their DPS, for instance, to stop their damage, and cooldown rotation is so important, damage meters are so important because you can go into dampening and things like that. 3v3 is where it shines, and if you've progressed enough in the previous tiers of this ladder that I've created, and again, I'll say you don't have to follow this pinpoint perfect, but I think it will help if you do follow it somewhat. After you've done BGs, skirms, 2v2 rated, and duelings, then you can jump into some 3v3, and you'll be somewhat prepared here. Of course, there's going to be another new thing thrown at you, and it's going to be crazy, and you're not going to know what's going on, but you'll soon learn, and I feel like this is the most enjoyable tier of it all. This is what it comes down to. Everyone cares about 3v3. That's where the rewards are for the titles, the mounts if you get gladiator, things like that. So 3v3 is where it's at. Find a team, learn what the meta is. So for instance, I play a druid, so I know that I pair well with mages and rogues. I can also do well with some melee comps and things like that. But HPL, for instance, can be more centered around double melee, because they have an ability that heals, you know, they heal more when closer to each other and things like that. Disc Priests, for instance, are more short game duels, or sorry, not duels, short game arenas, so you got RMP and things like that, which work super good. Rogue Mage Priest, you get the deal. So this is where you really learn pretty much everything you can when it comes to WoW PvP. And then finally, I suggest when you've played 3v3 and you're comfortable with that and everything, then you can find a team and go for the rated Battlegrounds. Now you can jump into these wherever. They're kind of sporadic. You've got teams that are like best in the world and take it super seriously, but you also got people that make RBG groups just to get the wins for the season, to get that mount unlock, or get certain rewards and things like that. Men, you can push this in wherever. I just feel like RBGs is good to put at the end, because it's just something else to spice up after you've been queuing hundreds and hundreds of 3v3 arena. So that's my list. Let me know what you think. If this helps you out, be sure to like and subscribe. That would be awesome, and I hope it does help you out by getting into this. I've still got a long way to go. I'm still in the middle of I don't think you can ever have enough practice of doing 3v3s and dueling people to try and outplay each other and things like that. And they're own unique in their own way, their own fun in their own way. And yeah, get out there, go kill some people. Or heal. Alright, we'll see you guys next time.
hard boy.